This conference will now be recorded.
Let's play Joe.
Right on the dot.
Yeah, we got like 2 minutes.
2-minute warning.
You got a tough one here, don't you, Byron?
Symphony, final performance this evening for the 88th consecutive season.
Wow.
So I'm going to blitz out of here and change badges. Thank you. I've got to get my other badge out. I'll be in there.
All right, we'll call this meeting of the Sedalia City Council to order. We'll begin with the prayer and pledge of allegiance. Chaplain Maxson, you have the floor to lead us in the prayer.
Would you please stand as able and join me in our invocation? Dear Lord and Father of us all, we come to you this evening to ask your guidance as the Sedalia City Council members, mayor, administrator, and staff meet to hear about and discuss important matters for the betterment of our city and the surrounding community. We are grateful for the service and dedication to our citizens. We ask your protection for all of our first responders, police, fire, sheriff, ambulance, EMTs, hospital staff, all who work 24/7 to serve and protect us, often at their own peril. And especially we honor tonight Larry Parkham, who retires from the Sedalia Police Force after 21 years in service, but fortunately get to keep him on in a county position. And also tonight, particularly, the lifeguards of Heckert Community Center, who saved a young life, and they're going to be honored tonight. We are so blessed to have these young people. And we are grateful for the United States of America, our constitutional republic, which so many have fought and died to create and protect for 246 years. We ask your blessing and protection for all of our military and civilians who serve today, both here and throughout the world, protecting our way of life against the threats from without, and more sadly, threats from within. And now as we leave tonight, please protect us and our loved ones, keep us from harm until we meet again. And all this we pray in the name of our risen Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the first couple items we have on our agenda are the two public hearings regarding annexation. The first one was submitted to, roll call please, Jason. Got ahead of myself.
Robinson, Batson, Oldham.
Here.
Marshall.
Here.
Bogus.
Here.
Hiller.
Here.
Cross. Here. Foster.
Here.
Bliss.
got two annexation petitions before us. The first one is regarding the property owned by the State of Missouri Department of Agriculture by and through the State Fair Commission. We'll go ahead and open this public hearing. If anyone has any comments regarding the annexation petition, if they'd step to the microphone, you have 3 minutes to speak on it. Having heard none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing regarding that annexation petition. Up next, we have the public hearing regarding the annexation petition submitted by E.W. Thompson, Inc. So we'll go ahead and open that public hearing. Anybody that would like to provide a public comment, go ahead. You got 3 minutes. Step to the microphone, state your name and your address, and we'll give it a go. All right. Having heard none, we'll close that public hearing. Up next, we have a special award. We're going to invite up Chief Irwin to go ahead and present that special award. Chief Irwin, you have the floor.
Mr. Mayor, member of the council, thank you for having me this evening. Usually I'm standing here to recognize members of your emergency services. We often recognize the heroic actions of our police, fire, and EMS services. Too often, though, we forget about the members that serve every day standing guard over the thousands of people that visit our pools every day. In the crowd behind me are members of that crew. If I could please have the lifeguards that work for the Sedalia Parks and Rec, please stand up and be recognized. All of you. If you work as a lifeguard, please stand up. If I could please have Jacob Korja, Natalie Newkirk, and Emily Lessmeister please come to the front. A number of years ago, we began a program with Director Eppley where members of the Sedalia Fire Department and Pettis County ambulance members trained with our Parks and Rec lifeguards. This training is always taken seriously by all participants. Our lifeguards work every day and are ready to give care when called upon. Everyone hopes they will never have to use the skills that they have acquired or do the things they are trained to do outside of a training event. But yet on the 25th of March, our lifeguards were called to do just that. I am extremely grateful that the members here tonight were able to recognize an event, react quickly, and give definitive life-saving care. I spoke to a number of the members of the Sedalia Fire Department after this call. I was looking at a way to give credit to our members for the life save of this young man. It was overwhelmingly agreed upon from the crews that they did not save the life of this individual, but yet our lifeguards did. And all they did was maintain that individual until he could be transported to a higher level of care. They gave all the credit for the outcome of this young man to those who acted quickly and effectively to change the outcome to a positive result rather than heartbreak and sorrow. So tonight it gives me great pleasure to stand here and recognize the lifeguards with a Lifesaver Award to Jacob Korja, Natalie Newkirk, and Emily Lessmeister for their exceptional care and life-saving work that they did on the evening of March 25th, 2023. They will also be receiving a Sedalia Fire Department Local 103 Challenge Coin. Not everybody gets those, so keep it and use it wisely. Congratulations. On a side note, I've known Ms. Lessmeister for a number of years. She was on my soccer team for the Green Ridge varsity soccer team.
All right. Well, moving along in the agenda, we now have a retirement. We're going to invite up Chief Work to go ahead and take us through that. No.
At that moment, I did a very solid guy, good guy, hardworking, and he loved the profession. Over the years, I was thinking about today, all the different things that he has done. He served as control, but some of the real highlights I think would probably be and hundreds of search warrants he's been on, and all the different investigations that he has done. I think, he is also our experts in games and game-related, everything from graffiti to signs. He did a lot of that in the prison when he worked there. I'm really going to miss that because he's my go-to guy. I'm very certain that's what probably answers. But that expertise has been a lot for investigations that we've conducted over the years. One specifically, all the research and all the data that we've collected is part of a large operation that did 2013 called Claim Collector, in which much of what we have done is collected to produce to help constitute a functioning bank here in Fidelity. So most of all, the lighter side of where he is, everybody in town knows him. Good guy to the bad guy. He is a very well recognized person within our department. We will all miss that, and we'll always miss his the lighter side of him. And maybe that great beard has come from law enforcement. So all those areas in our department is going on in law enforcement, but still work and help his fellow brothers out. I know that he loves the profession, and I know he loves the people he works for. So on behalf of the city of Fidelity and the Fidelity Police Department, I'll be this good for 21 years. Before I do all that, I wanted, when they asked me, they said you could pick your presents or whatever, and one of the things that I've already gotten gifts and I've already gotten accolades and I already got all this stuff, but what I wanted was, in all the law enforcement, one of the people that get overlooked is our spouses. 21 years of doing this, I couldn't do what I do without my wife. She's the person that, when I come home, I can put my head in her lap. She can rub my head when I'm cussing and mad. She's like, she's the one that can rub my head and make it all go away. So as a key needs to be recognized also. And that's why this gift is for you. You gotta open it. We gotta see what you have. She actually likes to save the record.
I'm going to jump down here.
Tonight, friends, Puerto Rican sons. Support local. Yeah.
That's good. We're not going far.
Good job. I am so proud. proud of you. Good job.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, good move. Well, thank you for your service, Larry. 21 years, quite a time to be with the city and doing what you do. Greatly appreciate it. Moving along, we've got the approval of the previous session's council minutes. This is from council meeting dated April 17th, 2023.
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. We have no reports from special boards or commissions or committees. The next item on our agenda will be the roll call of the standing committees. First, we have Finance Administration.
First for me, I have no report.
Thank you, Chairman Marshall. We have Public Works. Chairman Olson, you have the floor.
All right, we have 4 items tonight for Public Works. The first item we have is an ordinance approving the purchase of a day cab semi truck. In our budget session, we had allocated $110,000 for a new day cab. Due to price increase and waiting list for new equipment, the Public Works Department found a pre-owned day cab for a fraction of the price. So this is an ordinance approving a day cab semi truck for the price of $27,000 from KT Trans LLC here locally. This also, day cab, will include a wet kit, which is the hydraulic fluid and hoses that will allow for towing any necessary items.
Any council discussion regarding the ordinance we have? Having heard none, call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-68, an ordinance approving and accepting a quote for the purchase of a day cab semi truck for the street department. Second reading. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Bill number 2023-68, an ordinance approving and accepting a quote for the purchase of a day cab semi truck for the street department. Final passage. Second.
Roll call, please.
Marshall. Yes. Bogus.
Yes.
Miller. Yes. Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
Bliss.
Yes.
Robinson is absent.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 no.
Second item I have tonight is the authorization of a change order. Change order number 1, during the sidewalk replacement project in the area of Kentucky and Main Street, 2 unanticipated voids under the old structure were encountered. The staff recommends approval of a change order to cover costs of filling these voids. This would be a total change order of $8,198.13.
Any council discussion regarding the ordinance on the floor? Having heard none, call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-69, an ordinance authorizing change order number 1 for the replacement of a wall supporting the sidewalk.
Second reading.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Bill number 2023-69, an ordinance authorizing change order number 1 for the replacement of a wall supporting the sidewalk.
Final passage.
Roll call, please.
Bogus.
Yes.
Miller. Yes. Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
Bliss.
Yes.
Robinson is absent. Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 no.
Third item I have tonight is the authorization of a vehicle purchase. We had allocated $35,000 for a new truck for the cemetery department. And thanks to Chief Work, he was able to find a vehicle through the Missouri surplus property for $30,000. So this is an ordinance approving purchase of the 2019 Ford F-150.
Any discussion regarding the ordinance? Having heard none, call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-70, an ordinance authorizing a vehicle sales invoice for the cemetery department.
Second reading.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Bill number 2023-70, an ordinance authorizing a vehicle sales invoice for the cemetery department.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Miller.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
Bliss.
Yes. Robinson is absent. Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Fox.
Yes.
7 yes, 1.
The final item I have tonight is an approval of a renewal for an agreement with the Water Department. The Water Department currently participates in programs through our electricity provider to obtain a discounted rate in exchange for agreeing to switch over to generator power in peak demand situations. The staff recommends approval of the renewal of this agreement.
Any council discussion regarding the agreement? Having heard none, call for the reading of the ordinance. Bill number 2023-71, an ordinance authorizing the renewal of a business demand response agreement with Evergy.
Second reading.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Bill number 2023-71, an ordinance authorizing the renewal of a business demand response agreement with Evergy.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please. Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Robinson is absent. Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Bogus.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
7 yes, 20.
That is all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you, Chairman Oldham. Up next, we have Public Safety. Chairman Robinson is absent, so in this, filling in for him will be Vice Chairman Bliss. Vice Chairman Bliss, you have the floor.
First item is a low-pressure attack hose package. Chief Irwin presented in the strategic plan for the fire department, moving to a lower-pressure hose and nozzle attachment package. The system makes handling the hoses much more manageable for our personnel, as well as creating less wear on the pumps and the engines. The project was ranked 6th out of 17 in the scoring process of the strategic planning meeting, and $50,000 was included in the adopted budget. Staff sent out a request for proposals to solicit bids and obtained 4 bids. 2 bids were deemed unresponsive to the requirements of the request for proposal. Of the 2 responsive bids, field fire equipment was a low bid at $49,176, and staff recommends approval of this purchase.
Any council discussion regarding the purchase? Having heard none, call for the reading of the ordinance. Bill number 2023-72, an ordinance approving and accepting the bid for hose and nozzle equipment for the Sedalia Fire Department.
Second reading.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Bill number 2023-72, an ordinance approving and accepting the bid for hose and nozzle equipment for the Sedalia Fire Department.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please. Foster.
Yes.
Bliss.
Yes.
Robinson's absent. Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Bogus.
Yes.
Hiller.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
7 yes, 1.
Second item, the city has a long-standing agreement with Whiteman Air Force Base to provide mutual aid. Staff recommends approval of an update and renewal of this agreement, reflecting our current mayor and chief.
Any council discussion regarding the mutual aid agreement?
This agreement evidently means that if we need help or they need help, we're going to help one another.
Yep, that's right. Cooperative agreement.
Yeah.
Anything else? Having heard, no further discussion, call for the reading of the ordinance. Bill number 2023-73. An ordinance ratifying and approving an agreement for mutual aid in fire and emergency services by and between the city of Sedalia, doing business with Sedalia Fire Department, and the Secretary of the Air Force acting by and through the Commander 509th Bomb Wing, Whiteman Air Force Base.
Second reading.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. Bill number 2023-73. An ordinance ratifying and approving an agreement for mutual aid in fire and emergency services by and between the city of Sedalia, doing business with Sedalia Fire Department, and the Secretary of the Air Force acting by and through the Commander 509th Bomb Wing, Whiteman Air Force Base.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please. Lewis.
Yes.
Robinson's absent. Oldham.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
Bogus.
Yes.
Hiller.
Yes.
Cross.
Yes.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 no.
Third item, the fire department has been successful in obtaining grants through the Regional Homeland Security Oversight Committee program over the years. Staff is seeking authorization to apply for another grant to fund the purchase of additional dual-band radios capable of communicating with other agencies in the event of emergencies.
Any council discussion regarding the, resolution? Having heard that, call for the reading of the resolution. Resolution 2021,
a resolution authorizing the Sedalia Fire Department to submit an RSTOC grant application.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Resolution passed.
Fourth item, is a command post. Chief Works presented the police department's strategic plan, a project to add portable command and control trailer. This trailer will act as a staging area in situations where command and control coordination activities are necessary on the scene of an emergency. Last year, a truck capable of pulling such a trailer was purchased that's used as a response vehicle assigned to the chief. Staff recommends utilizing asset forfeiture funds available to purchase this unit. Asset forfeiture funds, that's a tough one, are from property that was previously seized due to being used in illegal activities that the police assisted in bringing the perpetrators to justice. These funds are restricted and can only be used for law enforcement to further its efforts in eliminating crime. Stated in a simple way, drug dealers are helping to fund the purchase of this equipment, and staff recommends the approval of a budget amendment to designate the use of these funds for this purpose.
All right, so this is a budget amendment, so we've got, one resolution and two ordinances before us. Is there any council discussion regarding this?
I'd like to have one request on this trailer. If we get it, I want to have somewhere put on there, this trailer was paid for by your local drug dealers. There's a lot of dare cars in the state of Missouri that say that. St. Louis County has a Corvette that says this car was furnished by your local drug dealers. Can we agree with that, Matt? Okay.
All right, any further discussion? All right, having heard none, call for the reading of the resolution.
Resolution 2022, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, stating facts and reasons for the necessity to amend and increase the city's annual budget for fiscal year 2024.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Resolution passes. Now we'll call for the, reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-74, an ordinance amending the budget for the fiscal year 2023-2024 regarding police command post trailer and generator.
Second reading?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Bill number 2023-74, an ordinance amending the budget for the fiscal year 2023-2024 regarding police command post trailer and generator.
Final passage?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Robinson is absent. Oldham?
Yes.
Marshall?
Yes.
Boggett?
Yes.
Hiller?
Yes.
Cross? Yes. Foster?
Yes.
Bliss?
Yes.
7 yes, 1 no.
Thank you, Jason. And now we have the, second ordinance in relation to this budget amendment. Call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-75, an ordinance approving and accepting quotes for the purchase of a command post trailer and generator for the police department.
Second reading?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Bill number 2023-75, an ordinance approving and accepting quotes for the purchase of a command post trailer and generator for the police department.
Final passage?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Oldham?
Yes.
Marshall?
Yes.
Boggett?
Yes.
Hiller?
Yes.
Cross? Foster?
Yes.
Bliss?
Yes.
Robinson is absent. 7 yes, 1 no.
Amendment.
All right, thanks, Chairman, Vice Chairman Bliss. Up next, we have community development. Chairwoman Foster, you have the floor.
Thank you. I have two items for consideration tonight. The first of which is to amend section 4-7, annual allowance of sale and consumption of liquor during the Scott Joplin Festival. Rather than adopting an ordinance each year to suspend the open container laws during the Scott Joplin Festival, a specific section was added to the code dealing with this annual event. With the development of the pavilion and other changes, staff recommends updates to this code section to reflect the current areas of festival activities.
All right, any council discussion regarding the ordinance? Having heard none, call for the reading of the ordinance.
Bill number 2023-76, an ordinance amending section 4-7 of the city code regarding the annual allowance of sale and consumption of liquor during the Scott Joplin Festival.
Second reading.
Second.
All those in favor? All those opposed? Bill number 2023-76, an ordinance amending section 4-7 of City Code regarding the annual allowance of sale and consumption of liquor during the Scott Joplin Festival.
Final passage.
Second. Roll call, please. Marshall?
Yes.
Bogus?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Cross? Foster?
Yes.
Bliss?
Yes.
Robinson's absent, and Holt.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 no.
The second item I have for discussion is Springport Lake, which I must say I am pretty excited about this one. I was never a big fan of selling the lake, and I am kind of excited to say that the contract for the sale of property surrounding Springport Lake has expired and is now null and void. A provision of that contract that council maintained was the utmost importance was maintaining public access to the lake. On the other hand, a major reason for even considering the agreement was that the ongoing costs to maintain the dam and lake were no longer appropriate charges against the Water Department Enterprise Fund offset by water usage fees. With that understanding, staff recommends soliciting public input to your deliberations over what should be done longer term with this asset and what the proper funding sources for the maintenance that matches up with the level of public good derived from the asset.
So, I had this, item put on the agenda just so we could go ahead and have a discussion in council. Just what direction you guys want to take?
I think we should continue to do this for sale.
I think we should keep it. I think that we should definitely get public input on what they would like to do with it. I know I had more upset people calling and complaining that we were selling it and they couldn't understand why. So I think that getting their input is essential because it's I think it's a wonderful asset to our city.
And I believe it could be an asset. Right now, it is a bit of with the dam, repairs that need to be made, big liability. That is going to take, funds and investment in that to make it into an asset, I believe. And the taxpayers have to support that.
With the trees, Steve, you've got an expert on this. For the trees, harvest off that, help with that cost?
Well, we looked at that, and there's significant value in those trees. And yes, they would help significantly with that cost. And I think really the thing to do is at least get, put out an RFP to professional foresters to see what they would charge us to put together a management plan for all the timber out there. And then turn that into some type of spreadsheet that would let us know in a 5, 10, 15-year period how that cash flow. So that contributes. You put a complete management plan together, and then you've got access to a lot of different grants. And just off the top of my head, Bob, you could generate probably $30,000 a year with timber sales. But really, the real answer to that is from a professional forester that inventories the whole thing and puts it together.
Well, that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see us look at the avenue of how, if we kept it, how it would embear for the citizens. Because that's who we all work for. I mean, if we sell it, it's gone, it ain't ours no more. I just soon, my grandpa always told me you want to get all the land you can because they don't make no more of it. So I'd like to kind of look at that avenue, and if it was feasible that when it was all said and done that it could be self-sustaining, I agree. Then we could probably afford to keep it.
And part of that too is right now, it's in part of the water department, so it's in the water department fund. That means the money that we have to use to fix it has to come out of the water department's budget, and so that is a drain on those rate fees as well. So I mean, we did want to keep it, and that was the decision council made. We did figure out a way to get it out of that and get it in some other fund that would be more appropriate, some other department more appropriate.
Have we got?
If it was sold, we can always say, right for people to go out there and camp and fish or technical or something. But what I understand, the dam isn't that good right now, that it might need to major repairs. So that thing will never go. Being huge trouble.
It's been there quite a while. Do we have any idea about the extent of what, didn't DNR tell us that we needed to work on it, and do we have any idea on the numbers? The spillway mainly, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a report of, an area of concern in the spillway. And then the other item that they said was vegetation, we mowed, and so just, when he was there, he was evidently saw some, overgrown vegetation. We hadn't got to.
Yeah.
But, we don't know the extent of it.
You know, the other thing we could do is talk to MDC and see if they turn
Yeah,
that.
they were supposed to come back, and I don't remember why my head was moving.
I wouldn't mind getting it off our books if MDC took it on, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
It would make a great conservation area.
It would. And I think that probably satisfies the public.
We do partner with the Department of Conservation right now, and so everybody's education. Basically, we have a partnership agreement essentially with the Department of Conservation where they manage the fishing lake for us, and basically through that they keep it stocked and kind of watch us and are the experts over watching over that. And to include, you know, sometimes we have algae blooms and those kinds of things. They help us treat that, and they have sent us an email here just last week about really have an opportunity for us to partner with them again when they'll pay for the application, full pay for the chemicals to manage the parts of taking on the parts.
I think I'd like to make a motion to hold public hearings so that we could gather public input so that we can get some more direction on this.
Any discussion regarding the motion that's on the floor? Do you guys have any idea on when you would like to do that? The next council meeting work, or is it something where you think we need a work session?
I think if we just want to do the next council session for a public hearing, see if anybody's going to speak on it or not. My opinion on it as a whole is, if we're going to keep it, I want to see what, like Councilman Heller said, how are you able, and what's the cost in the long term to keep it both the same? And then it sounds like eventually it may turn into something with the park or Parks Department, and so I would want to get Parks Department Director Amy Eppley involved and hear her opinion on the matter, see if this is something that she wants to take under her authority. But that's a decision. I'm more leaning towards right now trying to get it off of our books and making it so available to sell.
I think it'd be appropriate to give a little bit more time so that we can get notice to the public so that they can attend the meeting to give their opinion.
So this isn't really a pressing issue yet. I can next month or 2 months out to give them that time.
And then maybe that'd give us a little time to get a little bit more.
What about June 5th?
I'm indifferent.
Is that enough time? Yeah. June 5th? Okay, so we got a motion on the floor and some seconded to have a, would you all want us to, explore the, forest group before the June 5th? Yeah. And is that enough time?
Yeah, well, I think we could probably get,
What would be the cost on that? Are we thinking about applying a cost?
get an RFP to find out what they would charge us to build a management plan. So, I think we could certainly have an idea about what it would cost to develop a management plan by then.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to have a they're going to have to go out and inventory it's going to take a month or two to get the whole management plan
Maybe
put
put up
together.
here and get, what a cost would be for a year's worth of cost, including the forester, what would be the repairs to the dam, what is the annual maintenance.
I can give you one, and Bill, this is a, wild guess, but I have 500 acres in Morgan County. My management plan was about $5,000, $4,500 to $5,000. A complete management plan for all that acreage. So, and probably Springs Fork's total area is 300 and something, and we've got a 120 acre lake in there. So,
I think on that note, I would like to know the cost of that,
Yeah.
the cost of repair, cost of maintenance for a year.
I just want to see all the avenues explored.
Is that June fifth that works then? Okay. So, we got a motion on second on the floor to have a public hearing regarding the Spring Fork Lake, to gather public input on the future of the lake and what we're gonna do with it next. That will occur June fifth. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, thank you.
Just clarification, is that going to precede our council meeting, or what do we?
Yeah, I imagine we'll put that probably at the front of the council meeting, just like we do with all the other public hearings.
Yeah.
And we'll begin gathering that other information for you guys too.
Thank you. Okay, I have.
All right, thank you, Chairwoman Foster. Up next, we have the approval of the liquor licenses. Jason, call for the reading of the liquor license. We have 6 renewals tonight. It's Daniela Reyes doing business as Taqueria El Casino LLC at 810 West 16th for packaged beer, beer and wine, and Sunday sales. Kathy Getz doing business as Break Time number 3079 at 2801 West Broadway for Sunday sales. Kathy Getz doing business as Break Time number 3084 at 318 West Broadway for Sunday sales. Kathy Getz doing business as Break Time number 3083 at 808 East Broadway for Sunday sales. Jeremy Klein doing business as Cork and Bottle at 3806 East Broadway for packaged liquor and Sunday sales. And Jeremy Klein doing business as the Corner Lounge at 1604 South Ohio for liquor by the drink and Sunday sales. Motion to approve and block.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. Now we have the miscellaneous items from the city council with city administrator.
Over the weekend, we had a civilian native and a Smith Cotton alumni, was drafted to the New Orleans Saints. So Blake Groupie was signed as a kicker for the New Orleans Saints. So I think there was many civilians who are also Chiefs fans who are now Saints fans over the weekend. So I just think it's absolutely amazing that we have somebody, another civilian native in the history books with a major achievement. So give it up to Blake Groupie.
And kind of telling my age, his dad played for me and Bernard Herndon in Little League Baseball. So it's kind of neat to see his boys go up. And he's got another son coming right behind him that's, I think, going to go to the guys that wear the gold helmet. Notre Dame. He's going to be the kicker at Notre Dame.
I have a couple things. First of all, I wanted to say, I appreciated the opportunity to go to the Auburn Municipal Training that was hosted in Jeff City last Friday. It was, first of all, a very good refresher course and a great opportunity for new council members to go to get up to speed on municipal government. But it dawned on me that while I was going through that and thinking about it, that quite often, we get used to the things we have to go through, the process and those kinds of things. And I always wonder how the public views that, because they don't know why we do some of the silly things that we do. then why do we read towards why? You know, why can't we do some of the things that they think we should be able to do, or why do we have to do some of the things that we do? And so, you know, it's just kind of again a reminder that that sometimes perception is everything, and that we're controlled by the state statutes as to how we are supposed to do things, and that's why we read ordinances twice, and why we have to have the motions that we do, and the procedures that we do. So just wanted to throw that out there, and more so really for the public, there is a reason why we do some of the things that will cost us, that we have to do. And then the other thing is that we entered the city entered the Buckle Up Fun Down Challenge as our employees, and we won first prize. So we were able to get our employees on board. They dedicated or went on to accepted the challenge. And again, this was not only for raising awareness to keep people out of accidents and people being distracted, but it really hit home to me when we were watching the video that one of the examples that they used was a public works worker out picking up cones alongside the road and distracted driving with killed. So it's a painful reminder that we have folks that are quite often out next to the roadway, not only public works, but our police or fire are quite often put in next to the traffic and trying to keep us safe, and they're putting their lives. So it's an important deal to me is to make sure that people put their phone, that is not where somebody's phone. So just wanted to share that. We also got $7,500 for winning that, and so we'll put that.
Wow.
To use. So at this point, what we're looking at is one of those signboards that hopefully that we can put in on like road construction or something like that. That's all I have. All right. Now we come to the.
I just want to mention John Jolie did a great job at the Ukrainian Festival this Saturday. Was really, really wonderful event again. Downtown Sedalia was hopping, a lot of barbecue going on, a lot of beautiful food, great music. It was a really, really nice event.
We ate all day long.
Foster.
It was great.
Foster contributed a lot of money to it. But it was really good, and that money all goes for humanitarian aid in Ukraine, and some of the stories that I've heard are just heart-rendering. So I'm very glad to say I participated in that and helped the people that are in need in Ukraine.
And they said all of the money goes to it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
all good, so that was awesome.
It's quite a network, and they are some of the first people to go in and provide aid after people been attacked. There are people drive in and get that material to them. So all the things you can imagine.
The thing I found fantastic about it was it seems like a lot of native civilians have a negative attitude about our city, and everyone I spoke to at that event was so thankful to be here and thankful for everything that we do, and they have a completely different appreciation for Sedalia, and that was refreshing because sometimes I feel like we take for granted what we have, and it was very eye-opening that they were so thrilled to be here and so thankful for every little thing, and it was great. It was a wonderful day. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Anything further? All right. Well, we'll go ahead and open up to the public. This is our good and welfare portion. If you'd like to go ahead and step to the microphone, state your name, your address. We have 3 minutes to make whatever comments you want.
What happened? Albert Riney Sr. I'm the oldest one here tonight. 84 years old. Anybody older than I am? Lived in one house my whole life. I never moved because I was born inside the house. I've married one woman for 63 years. I never drank a glass of alcohol. I never smoked a pack of cigarettes. I haven't bought a lottery ticket. I've had brain, whatever, blowed up. I should have killed me. It didn't. I had throat cancer, and I shouldn't be able to talk. And so I can still talk. I want to tell you, everything you do that's good, and I appreciate being here and seeing that you offer a prayer to start with and have a pledge allegiance to the flag. I'm really surprised, and I'm sure hope that you're happy by doing that. But let me tell you a little bit more about my life real quick. My dad, I can't tell you what year it was, but he sold land to Missouri Public Service to have a substation. So today you have better electricity. And guess what? The neighbors complained about it because they didn't like driving around the light poles when it was planting corn. I come along, I sold land. Well, I didn't sell it. I had easement to Missouri Public Service. They run the gas line. They want to go to Smithton with it. The neighbors, they wouldn't do it because they're afraid it would blow up. So they didn't like me, that's for sure. Then I come along with Nucor. I sold land to them. Bring in jobs, high paying, good people. And guess what? Nobody cares about me because they say, we don't like the noise. We don't like looking out our back window and our back door, and it looks like they're in my backyard. Not mine, but theirs. But everything we do, if it's good, there's always somebody that don't like it. Then they come along and they built the road. And guess what? They don't like that because it's my fault again. Because if I hadn't sold the land to Nucor, they wouldn't have made the road wider, and they wouldn't have been forced to make a bigger road. But what I'm really surprised at, I haven't heard it yet, but I ain't gonna be disappointed if I do hear it. The guy that got killed down on the road on that curve, I expect they're gonna blame me for it because I'm the one that sold the land, so they built a curve in the road. It's just about as silly. So no matter what you do, you know, everything is just that. It's mixed up. And then the last thing I heard, since I got a son, and I think, well, even he said, he knew my son or heard of him. I don't know how well you know him, but anyway, he got a bigger mouth than I got. And he stirs the pot a lot more. So now it's my fault that he causes everybody trouble. So by selling the land and everything else, I thought maybe if I'd done enough good deeds, maybe they'd name the land after me and call it Riney Railway Industrial Park. But everybody said, no, we can't do that because nobody likes you. Nobody knows who you are. Well, I had my head under a cow for 50 years. I've milked cows for 50 years of my life. Is it up?
Yeah, I'm up.
Well, I am too. I'm down. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening, everybody. As you all know, on April 24th, the public work employees showed up to my property at 1805 West 18th Street, across from Mazio's, and they removed approximately 16 feet of soil from the back of the curb to my property fence. Upon contact with public workers, they informed me that they were building a parking lot for the dispensary. They were told that the dispensary did not have enough parking since they are now a retailer. I am here to ask the City Council to support, assist me, and place a request to call for a vote to remove over 2,000 square feet of asphalt that were constructed on my front of my property in less than 36 hours, taking all of my frontage and pouring asphalt. As you all know, the job was performed by an authoritarian order of the mayor and the city administrator without consulting with our City Council elected officials and utilizing taxpayers' money to build a parking lot area upon request for a private business. Since their opening day, this business has been aware of their parking situation, and they knew that they would not have to expand their parking if marijuana became legal, and they became a retailer. The owner has contacted me more than twice to discuss me turning my lot into a parking lot. On all occasions, I have offered the lot to the owners of the dispensary for sale at a reasonable appraised value, but instead they have chosen not to secure extra parking for their customers. This project came from the request of the dispensary representative to our city hall offices. Knowing that the right choice was for them to build the parking, instead, the response from our city officials was to immediately move forward to perform the requested favor. There was no public notice made, no discussion with the only property owner that was being affected by such decision, which is me. Just on the last meeting, City Council approved a code of conduct in which it outlines specific situations such as this one, making sure that the council holds others accountable for their actions, agreeing to work as a team, assuring a fair and equal treatment for all people, and making sure that one's position shall not be used for the personal enrichment of others. Since 2018, our company has had planned to develop this land with 3 proposed concepts, which are offices, residential duplexes, or retail. This parking lot decision has now limited our property as to what uses we can do with it, since we have now lost over 80% of our frontage just to benefit the needs of a single business. The city of Sedalia has clear rules regarding parking spaces and how many spaces each business should have. It also dictates that it is the responsibility of each business to provide appropriate parking to its customers. This case should be no different. A business should be able to accommodate and provide parking for its customers. If the site they choose to not accommodate their needs.
Mr. Gacy, did you state your name or your address by chance?
No, not yet.
Can you go ahead and state your address just for the record? I'm sorry, I didn't get that from you.
Okay. At the first paragraph, I said that my property is 1805 West 18th Street. First name Jorge, last name Guevara. A business should be able to accommodate and provide parking for its customers. If the site they choose cannot accommodate their needs, they should be required to find a new location or secure their own parking, just like every other business in Sedalia has done so far. I ask you to please consider supporting my request of removing the parking lot bill without discussion so I can get back the frontage that it was taken from me, and that we can together sit down and discuss possible ways that we can all work together. I have been a member of this community for over 20 years, and myself and our businesses have strongly supported this community in countless ways. We have been a strong partner of the city of Sedalia, and my family and I call this city our home. Something that I have learned while I'm here in Sedalia is that only together we can all make a difference. Thank you all.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Anybody else? No? Having heard none, I will,
Motion to move to closed door session for legal advice, real estate, and negotiated contracts.
Second.
roll call please.
Yes.
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 This conference will now be recorded.
Anything strange that happened to you?
No, but my very first day on the 3rd floor, the construction workers doing it over here, before you on the 3rd floor, they crossed themselves, which we love.
Yeah. There you go. All right. We got everybody?
All right, we're missing one.
We're missing.
Wait, four.
Five more minutes, we're okay.
Where's Steve?
Where did he go? There he is. Motion to open session.
Second. All those in favor, roll call please. Robinson, Bass, Holden,
Yes.
Marshall,
Yes.
August,
Yes.
Miller,
Yep.
Charles, Foster,
Yes.
Bliss. Yes. Okay, we have one ordinance, before you, it's accepting the property located at 600 North Grand, quick claim deed for the amount of $1. I'll read the ordinance. Bill number 2023-77, an ordinance approving the acceptance of a quit claim deed from Stephen Glover for property located at 600 North Grand Avenue in the city of Sedalia, Missouri.
Second reading. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Bill number 2023-77, an ordinance approving the acceptance of a quit claim deed from Stephen Glover for property located at 600 North Grand Avenue in the city of Sedalia, Missouri.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call please. Bogus?
Yes.
Miller? Yes. Cross? Yes. Foster,
Yes.
Bliss,
Yes.
Robinson's absent, Oldham,
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes. Motion to adjourn.
Thanks, you know what that is? Boy, I wish you'd been at the festival, at the Ukrainian festival, if we have it next year. Just been nice. It was